So ball's there. Depending on how they want to play. If they want to play out of the back,
Yep.
and then play the feet, the center back, we go. And now you have to force him to go back to go one way. Because if you just run straight, he can play that ball back in there, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of the press.
Exactly.
So if ball goes to this guy, we know he's gonna go there. Okay, try to force him to go here. As we force him to go here, now he gotta recognize that, release, and get attacked. Because I guarantee you, if we force him here, he's gonna drop and give support. You gotta go and release. As the ball is traveling here, you get there. 6-man show up in here, that's my 10's job to pick him up. So now we're gonna trap them in here in a 3v3 situation.
Yeah.
The ball cannot go back. If it goes back, we press the center back. Okay? When that happens now, I don't need my forward on the weak side marking this guy. He can look calm here because
That's what they're familiar with.
yeah,
Yep.
if we do win the ball,
He's cutting the switch off.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so and if we do win the ball in the press, a ball into him, he's in on.
Can he move earlier? Is my question.
Yeah, he can.
So like as that ball, play it back to the left back.
Yeah.
And you start the press there. Put the 6 back or the 8 back to the original back here. Yep. Okay. Say they play it into the left back or the left center back.
Okay, so
Left center back has the ball.
Yes.
Left center back has the ball.
Sorry.
Left center.
Okay.
Yep. Can he start shifting
He
earlier?
he can
Can
shift.
your left forward shift
He can
earlier?
shift as long as he knows that the player is going here. What can happen is he's shifting early, but we don't know where he's gonna go. Because what happens if it doesn't force him to go one way and he just run, if he comes in early, it can be a ball play here and now they switch the field. So his shifting depends on how he angles into his run. So as the ball is being played and we cutting him to go this way, he's watching his body shape. If I'm forcing him here, he's coming in right away. Because what can happen is he runs straight, they play around him, and now the press is broken. Or what can happen is he runs straight and he's shifting here, that's fine, but a ball goes here and now they play here and they're going all the way. Now the whole press is out of position, is all wrong because now they're coming out on this side.
Exactly.
So the key is to tell your forward they have to.
Everything that we've got going on
Yeah.
is to get that ball to that player
one
right
side
there.
of
We
it, yeah.
want to get it to that player.
Yeah.
And obviously we're hoping that the center backs stay more narrow and it's not as high up the field.
Exactly.
But then what I instructed them as a diamond, that's when we start shifting, but I don't have the man marking. So it's not always like the 6 goes there and the 8 comes wide to take care of them.
Yeah.
I have it more right now where it's almost like the 10 starts that press right there. Yep. And then the 8 comes up.
Okay, so I mean that's another option. What it can be,
And then the left 8 fills in that
so
area,
it can be,
and then
he
the
can go,
6 stays on
he
the.
can drop. That's fine. No, that's another way to do it. It also depends on the distance.
It's actually so 8 stays there. Yep. 6 stays there. 8 comes up. This is how I instructed him.
8 to
No,
1?
we have 2 8s right now.
yeah.
I'm calling them 2 8s.
Okay, so which
box
one?
to box, so that he comes up becomes 10. 10 becomes the point, right? And then 6 doesn't necessarily cover, but he.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean that's
just
fine.
what I instructed him
that's
so
fine,
far.
Unless I'm okay with that as well because what can happen? He can even drop in here if need be.
Right.
We just gotta make sure if it gets here, it dies here. We gotta win it here or either force a transition to win the ball or it's gonna go out of bounds. What can happen is they do that and they play their way back out of pressure. So
They can't.
They
That's
cannot.
I am not letting that's number one rule is we can't let them, and that's why I have this guy actually higher up.
Yeah. So
At all costs, do not let them switch the field. Is what we got.
the diamond weakness is
The switch.
You don't want to switch the field. So if
Right.
it goes on one side, it has to die on the side. If it goes on the side, we have to win it and force mistakes on one side. The mean to switch the field because the problem is, as the ball goes, everybody's going to shift on the strong side.
Exactly.
One switch across the field, we're done. Now we're going to come all the way on the side. By the time we get there, they're attacking us. So
Right.
it's pretty much giving the instruction to your 2 forwards. Ball goes on the side. Depending on how you want to press this guy, okay. Again, there's more than one way. He can go. He can drop. He can go. He can come. That's fine.
Right. Okay.
But if it goes on the side, it has to die on the side.
Yep.
So that's the objective. But else, if they find out that they're going to switch, we're screwed. So making sure we put him on the pressure. We put him on the pressure especially because he's going to be the free player a lot of times in the 4-2 system.
Yeah.
And then if we're going to press again, but just make sure your 10 is cheap. If you're going to have him press the outside back, his distance is not too far. So as the ball's going there to this guy.
That's why you probably do it with the 8, huh?
Yeah. Because now what can happen is, what you don't want to happen is, first of all, he pressed the ball. There's no angle of the press. If he's going here, he's dropping here and get that ball. We in trouble. So just make sure if that's the way you're gonna press, where the ball starts and we release this guy to go and press, he gotta be cheating. Okay, he cannot man mark. He gotta be at an angle where now the distance to get to the outside back is at least like a 10, 12 yard sprint to get there. Okay, because what might happen is they could drop this guy in here and play in like a back three.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's gonna play and you play that ball there and play here now, we got a problem. Okay, so again, it's okay for your 10 to release, but just make sure as he's going, is a domino effect. He's coming right away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what you can do to save energy and runs. Again,
that's a big thing. I need to save energy.
Yeah,
we have 4 games, possibly 5 in 2 days.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So 3 games guaranteed, semis, and we need to make the finals to move to regionals. So we need 5 games in
so
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 games.
Either him or him where the ball is on other side of the field. His body shape and how you press the ball or where he's forced to play is very important, because now by him forcing him here, everybody knows where he's gonna go. We know for a fact if we cut this angle out to force him here, he's not gonna go here. It's not possible. What can happen is if you want to release your 10 to go out there and press the ball, he cannot come in here as well and take care of this, and then it's gonna become this spare player. Because if he cannot go there, because we force him here, I'm not worried about these guys over here.
That would be nice.
That would never get the ball.
So I think I'd be more comfortable with that. So so 10 doesn't necessarily 10 marks center back, right? 10 cut. So they're starting with the 2 back. 10 cuts center back, right? Other forward starts in the middle.
Yep.
Right? He starts in the middle, but then drops back into the 10 role.
Yeah.
And then 10 releases.
Yeah. So also, so the thing I want to get across is, yes, our 4 are going to start wide. Okay. The minute the ball goes, as the ball travel and we engaging, and we start forcing here. There it is. Because we know for a fact you never get the ball there.
Right. Can't let it go back to the goalie. If they want to try some wild swing, that's fine.
That's fine.
Because then you've got your forward, that might pick it off.
Yeah, and let's say even if they were to go back to the goalkeeper, let's say he forget to force him one way and make play predictable.
Right.
He runs straight, but if he cannot play here and he goes back, just drop off and just hold your shape.
Right, and hold your shape. We don't press goalies.
He's not going to score on us. I'm not worried about him hitting the ball. So the ball goes back.
I'm just worried about the depth. If they get super freaking high here, that's what I'm worried about. Okay. But I don't see that normally. I see literally outside backs when we've been playing. They don't go that high.
That's fine.
They literally, it looks more like they're like right like that. That's the shape.
Here's the thing: if they don't go that high, you don't even need your attacking or your 8 to even go out there. You can even play here now. He marks both players. So if he put a ball in the air, he can still get there and press that ball.
Right.
If it goes short, we can press that ball. Now, if they go short, let's say they're playing this distance now, we're going to have to force him to go inside.
Yep.
Because now
that's our whole plan.
Yeah. So we're going to force him to go inside.
So we want it to go to the outside backs. And then the only options I want to give them is to either shoot it over the top and we'll collect, or come to the middle.
Yeah.
So basically, we start that press. They will let them come to the outside. So outside forward. Yep. Outside forward comes in.
Yep.
We let them play it to the outside back here, and then we start that press. Yeah. Right? And we do not let anything through the middle. We don't allow anything back and swing.
So let's say if the ball were to go to this guy, we start time it will happen.
Right. Well, that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what I want them to do right now.
Yeah. So
and then that player will cut off the back pass.
Exactly. Yeah.
The swing. Yep.
Make sure your center back on the strong side.
Yeah.
It's on the outside shoulder of this guy. He shouldn't be in here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
If he short for the ball and he comes in here, that ball goes in there, he will get there first because he's on the outside of it. If he comes in here, and this guy get inside, so this guy is the weak side center back,
Yeah.
get goal side. The strong side center back get on ball side because now if anything goes over the top, he behind the us because by this winger checking to the ball, he draws the fullback out of position. So there's a space behind the fullback that if your center back is here, he runs in here, he gets that ball right away. So it's very important. The minute the ball gets played here or plays there, the center back have to jack for position, get here on the outside of it. Because you can even intercept ball into feet, or you can run in the space and win that first ball. But if you hear ball comes into feet, he's gonna put his body in front of you. You'll never get that ball. So make sure you tell him. Again, it's gonna be a battle, it's gonna be a fight, but you got to get on this side of him to step in and win that, intercept that pass in the feet, or to be the first guy to run into the space if they play a long ball in behind. And now this guy, since we have a 2v1 here, his job is to give you cover. So anything that goes here, you get that first. Anything that goes into space, because also your fullback got drawn out of position, you get that first. And then this guy just drops in here and give us the balance. So we got obviously, we're gonna need pressure on the ball, but this ball goes here, he gets there. Ball goes over the top, you get there. Or keeper position is very important as well. And obviously, we can look at step. We can take away this option here. He's gonna go backwards, and he comes into the space in here. But what can happen is we step late, and he hits a diagonal, and now we kind of F it. So, but yeah, make sure your center backs. So it's vice versa. The ball were to go here, and he's shown, and we step in here, and he's coming across on the strong side. You got to get on his side of him, drop in here, drop in here.
And that's really the difference between a 4-3-3 and a 4-4-2 diamond is the fact that this player right here, that second forward normally would be covering that switch.
Yeah. And the thing is though, what most teams will struggle with when you play a 4-3 diamond, and I know like I even did it against Fusion and they struggle. If you take this guy out of the game, okay, they don't know what to do.
That's their 6, right?
They don't know what to do. Yeah.
Right.
You take these 3 guys out of the game, I guarantee you now they're gonna look to hit boot balls, a long ball. Because most teams play a 4-3-3.
And those are my 3 strongest players right there, and my 6 is a baller.
Exactly.
Right?
Most teams that play the 4-3-3, their strength lies in here. You guys need to be able to control the game. If they can control the game in the midfield, now these guys get frustrated and they'll do some things that they're not even supposed to be doing, and that's either hitting forcing it in here. If they're gonna force in here, we're gonna be tight and connected and win the ball, win the first or second ball. If we play this guy now, you got the first few minutes. Watch these 2 fall back and look at the tendency. This is when they get that ball. What are the tendency? Do they want to go forward? Do they want to hit balls in behind? Do they want to play balls into the midfield? So just watch it. They'll always tell you what they want to do. But now, and see how they react under pressure. Yeah. So let's say, are they going the ball? If the answer is yes, we got to look to force them one way. We're going to force them to the end line. Again, like I said, you can start to cheat, and then you can drop in here. That's fine. Because if he's not going to go there, we take away this option. We can get tight here and win that ball.
So you're just watching the shape as a coach, right? Yeah. You're watching the shape of your center, of your diamond in the middle to make sure that they're connected and pressing together. Right? Yeah. So it's less about the man marking. It's more about the connection between each other.
Yes.
That all of a sudden the 6 doesn't stay when everyone else is pressing. Yeah. Okay, that makes things nice.
So,
okay, and then let's get into the attack.
Attacking phase of yours.
So you want to start with built counterattack, or like the
so let's talk about
we win the press, or you want to start with like building out of the back?
They are the back. So let's just take the blue out of the equation first, and we'll add numbers as we go forward.
And you followed what I kind of told you I was telling them yesterday about 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that how you played basically?
So. Okay. So
that was Ancelotti.
Yeah.
AC Milan. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he ran a diamond for sure, and it worked to perfection. I mean, do you see what you have on this team?
I know, but we don't have Cafu.
No, you do not. So, again, depending on how it is set up. So that's, I mean, like you said, most teams gonna play a 4-3-3. Let's play a 3-man press. Okay. So, what's your style? Do you want to build? Do you usually build out the back? Like we just got to drop in here.
So my 8s are great on the ball.
Okay.
Right? So I'm looking for center backs into 8.
Okay, yeah.
Right? What we've been doing that hasn't been working is going like outside backs into 6, because they'll cut that 6 off and we don't have the rotational abilities at this point to have 6 wrap out and then 8 drop in and then 8 drop out, and then, like, we don't have any rotational abilities in the middle. What we do have is a nice technical quick space passers that can receive the ball, and then players that can play in tight spaces. So center backs into 8s, or we're pushing those outside backs up super high. So if it does go into the outside backs, then we're playing directly into the forwards.
So the first thing you got, the
And then
first
drop
thing
it.
you gotta look at when you want to play out the back. I know you want to get this guy the ball as much as possible. That's great, but recognize you always have a 2v1 against their forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so right away, I know a lot of time.
So you Benucci it and
A lot of
dribble
time
up, right?
Yeah, on either playing it here or you're playing it here, depending on how he presses the ball. If you, let's say you're gonna force you here, that's where now he can look to coming. Yes, there'll be pressure on his back, but if he cannot turn, that's when now he can use the it. Now, if they're defending like this, if they take away your 6 and taking away your 2 8s, he's always a spare player, no matter what.
Exactly.
So now it's can he show, and then can he be at an angle to get that ball?
That's the goal. That's literally our whole goal, right? And then what should happen now is their 8 or whatever starts to mark our 6, and we're playing direct into the 10. And that's when we hit the 8s. In.
So now the ball going as the ball is traveling.
Right.
Exactly. Away.
Right. And then the 8s, I'm trying to figure out our 10 is an awesome 8 too. Our 8 is an awesome 10.
So I'll also tell you, also depending on how hard he presses, sometimes he presses slow. Tell your center backs to be brave. At times they can look to step in the midfield. What I mean by that is, always tell this guy here to play opposite the ball. So when the ball is here, we don't need him coming in here. That's taking away.
That's the whole. Nope. He is not instructed to get the ball
away from the ball.
Yep.
Okay, because if we look closely here now, kind of got like a little triangle.
Yep. Exactly.
Kind of a little dot. Maybe look how we want to look at it.
It looked really good last night, and they understood center backs go to 8.
Yeah.
And I was quizzing them, and they were on top of it.
Yeah.
They knew it's not center back into 6.
Yeah. So it was just, can you step in here and then can you find that pass up, back, and now he's the first player. He got to look to either find that pass into the 10, who now, if he cannot turn, obviously he can support underneath to get it back. But now, let's say if you can protect the ball, both of these guys got to play off the 10.
Exactly.
So now as the ball gets in, he holds it, lay it here now. If he let's say if he's drawn towards the ball, we a lot of time players see the ball, they want to get the ball. I guarantee he's going to go to press, quick there, here. We break that pressure right away. So now he's recognizing this guy holds the key to everything. Got to be good with the ball. Got to make good decisions. Got to look to play forward as much early as possible. So it's 10 showing. Man on your back, that's okay.
Yep.
He'll find the ball here. Now, if he gets that ball, he's out of position. That's when then we'll have.
And now we so what I'm probably weakest at this point is understanding the forward runs in the 2 forward system. Just because I'm playing 4-3-3 most of my life, and I don't remember when we played 3-5-2. That was too long ago.
So one thing I did with Shakopee was, it's kind of like the same idea here, was when the ball is on the side of the field, I told my fullback in this case to push on, give us the
You go both fullbacks and 6 drop?
So I told him to go.
So right now I told if both fullbacks go, then 6 drops and becomes center back, or if strong side goes and AJ's up, then weak side stays.
So what I did, because they're kids, I told them,
right.
I kept it. I was going to keep it simple as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
One goal, instead of the ball's inside the field, obviously going to give Gay, you drop here. He gave us.
So that's probably what's going to happen.
So if you look at the shape here, kind of a little diamond. He's gonna sit in front of and protect us. He's like a protector, but also as we're attacking, yes, he won't be ready to defend, but he always be an option to get the ball back no matter what.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we can reset, and we got to play patient too.
And the reason why I told this guy to go, because I want him to give us the width out here. Now,
exactly.
He got to cause problem for.
And if he doesn't go, what they're instructed to do, take that right fullback and pull him back. So now that 8 has the ball, and then it's supposed to go 8 eights know that they're trying to play target player same side forward. So they're playing vertically to that forward. Now the 8 can play the ball to the forward. The 8 can give us width right there. Now 8, gives us width. And then left fullback is up. Left fullback.
Left fullback, okay.
Yep, and then left fullback is up there.
Okay.
So we worked on that too.
Okay. But you said the problem you have now is how do you get in behind that back line with a front two? Like
so then when the forward gets it, we're instructed to play into our 10, who is that like he plays back into the 10, and that's when we're getting that switch ball in, and that would be a overload cross into the box from the left side, who's a great crosser that can put a nice ball right into the box for numbers.
So one tip I will give you, you need to try to get these guys, draw them out. So what I mean is the ball of your 8, tell one of your forward.
Yep, one comes and then one fills in behind.
Yes, because the reason why, because I want to see what he's gonna do. A lot of time that's his mark.
Normally he stays and then you can turn on him.
Guy, if he stays, that's even better.
I know, right?
But if he doesn't stay, now as he's coming in here.
Yep, he comes across, and
that's when now these two now got to join the attack because now we need numbers going forward.
Exactly.
You going. Unless
my 8 is attacking minded, my 10 is super attacking minded, my other 8 is super attacking minded.
So now, what is that does is we have option showing for the ball in the feet, great. Optioning behind the run in the space, because technically if he's a center forward and a center back, that run, he tracks that run, that's fine.
Yep. So that's an easy one. I feel like that they'll be able to do.
Yeah.
The more complicated one that I showed you first was we're looking for that dummy run. So one forward checks in, ball goes into the second forward, right? Dummy run, ball into the second forward, right? And then he wraps around in behind.
Those sets spin up, yeah.
Exactly, but I don't know how to initiate that. Like
that's what Andy Cole, George from Man United back in the 90s run right there. Okay, where he showed he don't get the ball.
We worked on that yesterday.
Yeah. Now can you find this guy? I think as that ball is going to him, you spinning off for a little give and go. You have to be very, very. These two guys gotta be thinking on the same page for that to happen.
And it looked great with no pressure.
But when there's people marking, when the pieces are moving,
right?
If they can see that I draw them out and get the ball,
it'd be phenomenal,
and
right?
then spin up and get that ball,
right?
Oh my goodness, that's.
But I want to figure out a way to like call it. Like as a coach, I want to be like, what? Like, do I call it? Hey, dummy run. Like, is there cues that I can set up to?
Well, you can probably you probably get in practice.
Yeah.
Create like a little code or a little signal where they know it. Before it even happens, you call it out.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna have if my forward's acting as a dummy, they're gonna smack their leg just to like get the attention of the second forward. I think that'll be our cue.
So no, that's a good that's because
or like clapping you said that, I'm
like I noticed like outside from like 90s.
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
He goes in, he shows, he don't get it. Ball's going, spinning off.
Right.
They threw a ball in there as well. That's perfect. So, but yeah, definitely. Not problem. The main thing in the system when you're attacking is how do you get these two to work off each other? So like again, he checks, you run as another option, depending on how much space you're having behind. Because there's some guys don't even think about how much space, and they're overhitting it, and then goes to the goalkeeper. I'm like, dude, the closer you get towards the other team goal, you have less spacing behind. Mm-hmm. So you gotta recognize a little click where he's running onto the ball. So he's recognizing, okay. Also, you gotta recognize where you are, because if you step up right away, you're offside. So be patient and be aware of where he is and where the last defender as well. Because if you just ball watch and before that ball even play and he step up, he's outside. So just be aware of that. Okay?
And then what do you think the run is to get the 10 in off of the forwards? Like, how do we start getting the 10 in? Because our 10 can shoot. He can score.
Yeah.
Like, so whether it's, I have 3 10s that all can score and shoot. Yeah. How do I, like, basically it's 8s into forwards into 10, and 10 dribbles right now and, takes his space and tries to take a shot at the top of the box. Or he's or he's the one setting up the forwards or the eights.
So I'm gonna give you a very important thing that I told my chocolate boys.
Yep.
And I always it starts with these two guys.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to play not in here, they play in here.
Exactly.
Because
Okay.
now you causing problem for who? This guy and this guy. His job is to be moving in these spaces, okay, but not just central. Because at the 10, think about of a 4-2-3-1. The 10 is going to be moving. Your job is to make sure he can't see you. You have to be doing this to try to find you. Because now you play in these little spaces in here to be able to connect with the two forwards. If they're coming here, that's fine. I mean, at times it will happen, but we want to play on the shoulders of the center forward.
Which they know because they're trying to
Yeah,
get
on
the
the center
ball
backs.
from the outside backs.
Exactly.
And we're instructed outside backs into forward.
And that's where now, if you were to get that
Eights
ball,
into forward.
if the ball goes into forward's feet, he now become the third man to join the attack. If he's here, if I'm a center holding mid, and I see the 10 always just right in my vision, he's doing me a favor because I know where he's gonna be. Your job is to keep him guessing where he cannot see you. So now he's like, there's the ball. Don't come right away. Play here. So now it can be a ball
Like
play.
I said, both of them, all three of them are intelligent enough to be able to handle that.
So now the closer he gets, there's the ball. Now he's driving. Now what you create is a what? 3v2.
Right.
If they don't step to you, freaking get it and have a shot. If they step, now you can slide them in. Vice versa. If he steps, maybe a little 2 ball in here, or a little quick give it 1-2 in behind. So you just gotta recognize how they defend. But it's very important. The detail is, I always tell my forwards, don't come in this space. Let him work in his channel. Your job is to work outside in these other spaces because now he can get that ball. You running in there, either a ball playing here or a ball, depending on your angle, you're in space.
And if they are in that channel, let's say that one of them is central, because one would be, they might find themselves central.
Yeah.
Like say that it goes outside back into the forward right here. Like with that dummy run.
Yep.
Right? Comes in here, right? And then it's dropped in here and it's too tight here. Then what I'm wanting is the eights to get that space.
That's exactly what I was yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
So-
they know that. I hope they know that. That's kind of they were doing it. That was the most actually
good.
natural thing that I saw.
That's good.
One of our eights was like absolutely loving the ball into the forwards and then coming to get it off of the forward.
That's good. So, but yeah, so it's just very important that you have these guys playing in these spaces. And also now, you know, when I told you I want these guys to be on the outside of shoulders of the two attacking mids,
Yeah.
I'll show you. Okay, let's say the ball was here. Okay, and these guys are working in here. And okay, he's on the side of the field. He gotta be on here because now that causes a problem for him. Because now, in the pass that goes here, sorry, in the pass that is played forward, body shape, you see when the half turn, he's going forward. Because again, if he's this player, he is drawn towards the ball. He wants the ball, or he wants the ball. So now it's like, can we be in position where we on the outside shoulders to get a forward pass into the front foot?
Right.
Another option now is, if he's marking this and he's worried about this guy in here, you ask, how can I get my 10 to be also joining the attack? I'll show you another way. He can look to check in his space in here because of the space he created by pulling out wide. If he follows this guy here because he's worried about this guy,
So this is 6 into the forward.
yeah. As he's dropping here, remember I told you I don't want this guy to be in his vision because he sees him. If he's playing in his spaces in here, if he's dropping in here and he's following,
Right.
you see that?
Then you can play over the top to the
The
10.
10 running behind.
Okay, I like that. Show that one more time.
Okay. So it's 6 has the ball.
6 has the ball.
It's
Forwards
the
are high.
forward-
They're pinning the center backs
pinning
on the
outside shoulder.
outsides.
The 10 is in behind these half spaces in here.
Yep.
But I don't want him coming in here to get the ball because I'm trying to draw this guy out of position. So it's can he play opposite the ball? He's not gonna recognize the attacking mid, clear the space you're gonna come into. He's showing. If he doesn't follow,
Which they should
Which
because
they should.
6 never, like I'm setting hard rules just to make,
oh, I hear it.
but the 6 is never supposed to play the 8, right? So that should just make them disconnect and get out of the way. I'm
Exactly.
hoping.
Because at the end of the day, the most dangerous pass he can play is not to this guy.
No,
It's here.
and that's where we've been going wrong for a while. We've been playing one to one to one to one
this
to one.
pass here beats all three defenders in here.
Right.
So now can you check in a little space and see what he does?
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't read the game and doesn't follow you, now you can receive it and square up. Now you have guys. You have a 3v2 situation. Or it can be where you drive in. Now, a little overlap. If he does follow you, and your 6 recognize that, okay, can I take a touch? There's the run in here. Okay? It can be, or he can run inside. If he's following you, there's the ball in there as well. But a lot of times I want to get this 10 because he's the decoy, or he's the third man running here. Draw him out of position, that spacing in there. Now it's left for who? The 10 to see. Now, also,
that would be so nice if we can get that.
So nice. Also now,
because that's the guy we want on the ball.
If the outside back, let's say the outside back does tuck in.
Those are my goal scorers.
Okay. Let's say the forward checks and the outside back tucks in and take away that space where he can't run in and then no more. Now that frees up your 8 to get that ball out wide as well. Now we're getting balls, serving balls in the box. We got guys in the box. So there's more than one way to cause that backline problem. And that's one thing that I work a lot with my with my shot big guys is how do you create movement and space.
We're at like step 1 and 2 right now.
That's fine.
And I probably would rather them just repeat that over and over again.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Yeah. So the thing is. Just give them 2 or 3 patterns that you keep working on because the game flows naturally. So you don't want to give them too much information where now they're confused.
Right.
Just give them 1, 2, 3 different patterns. Just work on any training, and then go with no pressure, and then add limited pressure where now they can find it when it gets chaotic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's one thing. A lot of times I work on the first pattern and I'll show you, and then I just want to allow where there's the ball, open up, see what he does. If they tuck inside and be narrow, we play it there, and then we can go forward. But if they get wide, the whole idea is to draw these guys out of position. So if they're gonna come here, can I come? Can I find a pass? If forwards want to check in and get that ball, if they can turn. No center back in the world wants a forward to check in, get the ball to his feet, turn up, and then come at you. They don't want that. So a lot of times they will check and follow him because they don't want him to get that ball and turn. So if that's the case, who's gonna run him behind?
Right. And like I said, that's our most skillful player position, where they could probably, even if that outside back was one-on-one with them, they probably, all 3 of them, could win that ball and get at least like 1 out of 3, 4 tries. They could probably win that ball, take it, and in goal.
Yeah. So, and also what I did with Shakopee as well was, how I talk about this guy playing here, because now that affects not just this guy, but also this guy.
Right.
And then obviously I told these guys, again, it's just in the middle third, final thirds. Make sure you move him out of position. So if you come in here, if you follow you there, that's fine. Yep. There's space for you to come into. But what can happen is he shouldn't be seeing you where you are. So you're moving in these spaces. But depending on where the ball is.
Sit in this blind.
Yeah. Depending on where the ball is, we don't want you to come in the space where the forward can check into. So if the ball's on the side of the field, we want you to play opposite the ball. Because now, there's your diamond. So if you look from a 4v2 rondo, keep away. If I would have put a little box in here, look guys, rondo, 4v2, okay? Think of penetration. We either penetrate through, we penetrate around, we penetrate over.
Right.
So there's 3 to penetrate a defense. Through, around, over. So if he does this, and he shows we do this. If he does this and close the passing lane to the forward's feet, we go around. If he's worried about this space and he checks and he follows, we go over the top, in behind.
Cool.
So yeah, so it's kind of like a big rondo, but this guy holds the key in possession. These guys,
just the guy we want.
Yeah.
We have a nice.
The 10, his position is also very important. Can he play in these spaces where he causes him a problem? If he does this to block the pass, we go here, and then we can go to goal. And then we create a 2v1 here. Depending on how far you are, depending on his range of shot, there will be times where he does slide at me. If he's worried about this, I get close to have a shot and go. If he comes across, we play the ball there. So there's more than one way to get forward. Just making sure your 10, your 9s, and your 8s. The positioning out of when we don't have the ball, when the ball is here with this guy, is very important. Now, what will happen is some teams will try to take away this guy. Now, it becomes now, how do you solve this puzzle where they say, okay, you killing us with the 6. Again, if a coach is smart, he would take away this. He would force these guys to play. So now it's okay.
And both of those guys are pretty decent.
Yeah,
They can play.
so now they're saying, okay, you're killing us. This guy's it's causing us problem. Fuck these 2 guys. You guys can have the ball. We don't want him to get the ball because now we know that he's been getting the ball. He's been hurting us.
Right.
We're gonna sit on him. Now the problem now becomes okay.
So now you get the fullback super freaking high.
Yeah. So there's another question now is, okay, how do you deal with this?
You drop the 6 into the defense and you push super
Because
high with the fullbacks,
now,
right?
They're kind of mirroring your formation. So they're saying, okay, we allow these guys to have the ball. Okay, we're gonna take away their 8.
Yeah.
That way, 8 doesn't get the ball, 6 doesn't get the ball. Now we want them to put the ball to the outside backs. So now the question becomes, you have to now recognize, how do you overload a side?
So now you have to push the 8 outside.
Yes.
Right.
Couple of options. So how we solve this puzzle? Let's say that they take away. They're playing kind of very narrow. If you look, they have like a 6-man guy, like a 3 block, 2 blocks of 3 here, and they give you this, or to taking away your diamond. So now, how will you solve that problem? What can you do to solve this problem?
Well, you either dribble with your center backs to engage to create the 3v2 on the right or left. You push 8 wide, 8 wide and invert the center backs or the outside backs like City and Cancelo.
Okay.
So 8 wide, invert it, but I can't work that. I need to think simple.
Yeah. So
like what can they do simple?
When I play against Keelix in the dome or in Donis dome, they did this because I know the coach. Like he and I took one of my coaching classes together. He did this where he took away the central area. So like I couldn't find any vertical passing here because they crowded this area and they gave me this.
Right.
But the problem is these 3 guys, they're quick. So as the ball goes, they will get there. They can get there. They're freaking fast.
So is the most basic strategy, if they cut off the vertical, play wide and then switch it?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole weakness of the 4-4-2 diamond is the switch.
So what I did was 2 options. And I even told my guys, like, we didn't practice it, but I told them, like, expect this. I know him pretty well. He's going to do it for me because I want to play in here.
Yeah.
So what I did was, okay, I'm like, the first option can be, we pull this guy here, okay, and then we'll bring this guy in here, and then we'll push this guy higher. So now, the problem that I create for them is, if you look here, I'm creating a diamond out here. So now, if it goes here, Kevin Logan play forward right away. Okay, he has to be able to be strong,
which is the forward.
Yeah,
and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So I have my forwards coming wide. That's perfect. Okay.
So first option, this ball goes forward comes here to the end line. The 10 now occupies the space in here, and then this guy got to push a little bit inside the space in here. So now,
that's perfect.
Ball goes there, here, and now he can support underneath. Second option can be where, bring it back in here, can be, so now he can pull out, he can drop in, he can fill the space. So it's the same diamond. It's just now trying to confuse them with the movement of these players to see how they're going to jump. Now, if he comes, ball goes, always support behind the ball, because if he can go forward, he can play back to you.
Right, if they shift quickly, then we need a swing.
So now we talk about ball's there. He's running in the space, because by him showing for the ball, that attracts the outside back.
Which leaves the 10.
We leave the 10.
And pulls out the center back.
Yeah, in the space in here. Now, either this guy can come in here, or we can bring this guy in here to support. And we can push, depending on where the ball is. Ball's going here, we push in here to support.
More likely we'd have that 9, because right now they're kind of tied. My 2 9s are tied together. They're instructed to, be a tag team partner.
Yeah. And also, we notice, the reason why I'm doing this because I want to have lots of guys around the ball, because the minute we lose the ball in transition, we can do what?
Just press, run it back.
We can press. Okay? And then, so if they do that, start to move players out here because the diamond doesn't have. If they're going to a diamond way, they're taking away the narrow zone. You know, call it a rondo. If you cannot penetrate through, you can go around. The further we are from goal, from their goal, we cannot really go over the top because they have numbers in behind the ball. We not got ourselves look to go around that block of 6 and using your weight, your fullback, using either your 8 going here or your 4 coming in, and then drawing this guy out of position to get balls in behind. Probably be your best option. Okay? Right. We ain't no freaking Guardiola. We ain't gonna freaking try to play on the back and try and give it away. Right. But can we draw him out of position? Can we find balls in here and that will attract this guy out of position now, and that's where we're going to have success either running in these channels. Okay, let's say the ball want to go to this guy, and he holds up. I don't know how if your forwards are holding up the play.
They're hold up forwards.
Okay.
I have 2 hold ups and 2 runners.
Yeah, so that's where now he can support underneath. Okay, now we're going for if he comes in here now.
Is that the 10 that's supporting underneath?
Yeah.
And then the 2nd, and then the 8 fills.
Exactly. Yeah. But the whole idea is we have to look to overload either this side, depending on where the ball is.
Yeah.
Or overload this side because
then this guy on that is
exactly
up here.
Yeah, because they're overloading this, we're gonna overload this.
Right.
So because they can't do both, they can't overload here and overload here. It's not possible. They got to pick one.
Right.
So it'll take with the middle. We go here. So, but yeah, it's just pretty much getting the outside back out of position and drawing these center backs either into the midfield where they're spacing behind or drawing them because no center back in the world want to come out here and defend out here.
No.
Look at freaking Harry Maguire. He hates. You bring him out here, he's on ice. He's gonna. They don't want that. Right. Their bread and butter is here. The minute you draw them out here,
right.
Okay. I like my chances here because they can get a foul. We'll take the foul. The foul's over there. Right. Okay. But can we draw this guy out of position and then find balls in his wide channels because now that affects him. Leaving this guy 1v1, they don't want that. I guarantee you. Nobody want to leave 1v1 here. So, and if he talks in and give cover, it's like you said, we push him out. And now we find
my fullbacks now I have defensive and offensive fullbacks.
Exactly. And now that's happening now. Okay, we now even defend like this because now we have 2 center backs, fullback here, and then the 8 when it's the 16 behind to give us the balance. And I did that to him. He didn't know how to stop it.
Beautiful.
So
I'm gonna pause the video here, and so I can YouTube it and send it to the guys.